Everyone wants to be strong, yet almost no one is ever taught what strength truly means. From the moment we're young, we're fed the same message again and again. Win, don't lose, don't hesitate, don't show weakness. Be louder, faster, better than everyone else. And if you fall behind, if you doubt yourself, if you get tired, you hide it. Because weakness, we're told, is failure. But the truth no one says out loud is that most people who look strong are exhausted. They aren't unbreakable. They're just very good at pretending they are. There will come a moment in your life, maybe many moments, when the road simply disappears. Not gradually, not with warning. One step you're moving forward, believing in effort and progress, and the next there's nothing beneath your feet. No sign, no reassurance, just silence. And in that silence, the questions begin to surface. Does any of this even matter? Am I actually moving forward or just wasting time? Would anyone notice if I stopped trying? This is where most people quit. Not loudly or dramatically, but quietly. They still wake up, still go to work, still smile when needed. But inside something folds in on itself and never fully opens again. We call that being realistic, but often it's just surrender with better manners. Losing faith doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're human. Even the strongest warriors in history doubted themselves. Even the most disciplined minds felt fear. The difference was never that they didn't break. It was that they didn't let the breaking decide the ending. True strength is not standing tall all the time. True strength is having the courage to keep walking when you can no longer see where the path leads. There will be days when your heart feels heavy for no clear reason, when the world feels distant, when your effort feels invisible. You'll do the right thing and receive nothing in return, no praise, no recognition, not even gratitude. That's when the mind whispers, "Why bother?" And that whisper is more dangerous than failure itself, because failure is loud and obvious, but quiet doubt convinces you to abandon yourself slowly. Most people believe strength is about never falling, but that's wrong. Strength is learning how to fall without losing who you are. It's sitting in the dirt, bruised and tired, and still deciding to stand back up, not because someone is watching, but because you refuse to let the fall define you. You may never see the results of what you're building. That's one of the hardest truths to carry. The seeds you plant today may not bloom in your lifetime. They may grow quietly in places you'll never visit, in lives you'll never meet. And that feels unfair because we want proof. We want confirmation that our suffering means something. But meaning doesn't come from applause. It comes from alignment. The value of a life is not measured by how many people cheer for you, but by how many people were quietly changed because you existed. Someone you encourage once may still be standing because of words you barely remember saying. Someone you helped may carry that lesson forward long after your name is forgotten. That isn't weakness. That is depth. At some point, you'll realize it was never about becoming perfect. Perfection is a trap. It keeps you frozen, afraid to move unless you're certain of the outcome. Life was never asking you to be flawless. It was asking you to be whole. Whole means accepting the parts of yourself that are tired, the parts that hesitate, the parts that feel afraid and keep going anyway. Whole means understanding that strength and softness are not opposites, they are partners. The strongest people are often the most gentle. Not because they lack power, but because they no longer need to prove it. You don't need to rush to reach the end of your story. You don't need to become a legend overnight. You don't need to win every battle to live with honor. The strongest people are not the ones who never fall. They are the ones who fall, stand again, and then turn back to help someone else rise. Helping someone while still carrying your own wounds, that is strength without ego. If you're still walking, even slowly, even painfully, you're not weak. If you're still trying when no one notices, you're not behind. If you've fallen and stood back up more times than you can count, you are already stronger than you think. And if reflections like this help you stay on the path, even a little, staying connected and subscribing becomes less about numbers and more about walking this road together. Sometimes one quiet voice in the silence is enough to keep someone moving forward. True strength is not dominance, not victory, not appearing unbreakable. True strength is endurance with integrity, courage, without noise, and the willingness to keep walking even when the road disappears beneath your feet.